Admiral, thank you for your leadership in so many different areas. I just came from the Military Construction Appropriations Subcommittee. We just marked up that bill, and it's kind of good to have that one first out of the box here. But what we did in that MILCON markup is fully appropriate the $155 million the administration requested for construction of the long-range discrimination radar there at Clear. I'm sure that that part of it pleases you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
now, in your testimony, you note that this subcommittee is going to be considering the request of $162 million to continue the development of the LRDR, and you have outlined before this committee and others why you believe that this is a significant national security project. But I wonder if you would address yourself to the question of whether bringing the LRDR online in the next several years is even more critical now than it has been in the past, given the threat environment that we are looking at. And then following on, how critical it is that we fully fund the development funding for LRDR this year. Just speaking to that generally.
Yes, ma'am. The decision that we made after the last Tapadong 2 flight test in the end of 2012 and then revalidated in February, I think underscores the importance of not just the GMD system, but the long-range discrimination radar in particular, is that there is a clear intent to continue to pursue ICBM road mobile technology by North Korea. And our system today is designed to counter that. If he tests and then improves capability to make this even more complex in the future with decoys and countermeasures, we need, and that's the whole plan today, is we need the radar in Alaska to help defeat that threat.
And we need it sooner than later.
Ma'am, the prediction is that that capability will potentially be fielded by 2020. And everything that we've done to pace the radar development to field in 2020 is against that very contingency.
Good. So timing is key to the construction, the development of the long-range discrimination radar.
And it's the key part, along with the redesigned kill vehicle, of our strategy of improvement by 2020 for that very threat we spoke about.
I appreciate that. Mr. Chairman, I have to note that when we're sitting in this committee, my ears perk up every time I hear Alaska, and I'm just reminded of the significant role that our state is playing when it comes to our national security. We have the long-range discrimination radar coming in at Clear. We have the GMD at Fort Greely. We have Cobra Dane out in Shemya. We have our spaceport in Kodiak. This is not just because I've got sharp elbows here, but it is because of our strategic geographic location at really the center of the globe. I want to ask you a quick question here, Admiral, about the ground system hardware at Fort Greely. I was looking at your testimony here, and the statement that you made is ground system hardware is 1990s technology installed in the early 2000s. And you go on to say that MDA is experiencing parts obsolescence challenges and operating systems that are no longer supported by original manufacturers. With the improvements that you are making at Fort Greely, does this address this parts obsolescence and these operating system challenges?
Yes, ma'am. Funded in the past, funded in this year's budget, and fielded in the next 2 to 3 years.
Good. So we will no longer be seeing statements that would suggest that we are not current, that we are not up to date.
No, ma'am. And we have systematically requested and approved and started all of the areas that, in my view, had significant gaps that needed to be improved from the initial prototypes that were fielded in 2005.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.